Hello, everybody. Alrighty, I want to make sure that I am sharing this into my group. I really need an admin who can do this for me because I'm just not good at going live and trying to do 97 other things at the same time. So let's get this party started. Hello, everyone. I'm Karin Carr. I am back again. Very excited to be here for another training all about attracting buyer and seller leads from online for free. And we're talking about the dangers of buying leads from the big portals. Now, for those of you that don't know me, my name is Karin Carr. I am a realtor here in Savannah, Georgia. And I have been so successful in getting online leads that now I teach other real estate agents how you can do this for yourselves. And if I do say so myself, it works like gangbusters. Hi, John. Thanks for joining me. Here's a perfect example. This morning I had to take my car in to get serviced. And while I was sitting in the little waiting room where they've got their free coffee and whatnot, I got two leads. One was a buyer and one was a seller. The seller said, I'm thinking about selling my house, but I've only lived here for 2.5 years. I really don't know if I have enough equity. I did a Google search to find out, is this a good time for me to sell? I found your content. You seem awesome. Will you tell me whether or not this is a good time to sell? And so I'm going to do a CMA for her and decide, can you afford to sell now? And if not, should you just hang on to it for another year and try again? The buyer lead is relocating here from out of state. His wife works for a company in North Carolina that also has a location here in Savannah, and they're thinking about transferring her. And if they move here, they want to buy a house. And he said, and I quote, I wrote this down because it was so good, I have watched all of your videos and I can tell that you really care about people. We're coming to town next weekend, and we really hope that you have enough time that you can work with us. Who wouldn't love to get more leads like that, right? So my primary method of lead generation is making YouTube videos. I don't cold call. I don't have a farm. I don't do open houses every single weekend. I do run the occasional Facebook ad to say, hey, I've got a new listing, or come to our open house that my team does. But really, I'm all about organic traffic. I just make YouTube videos that get lots of views from potential prospects who then turn into paying clients. And it's pretty fantastic, if I do say so myself. But I know many, many agents who are buying leads. They are spending hundreds, if not thousands of dollars a month to buy leads from the big portals who will remain unnamed, but you know exactly who I'm talking about. I know one broker who is spending $6,000 a month, and he is losing money on that deal every single month, in his own words. So I'd like to share my thoughts on this and why I think that it might work in the short term, but why I don't think it's really a great business strategy in the long term. So if you're buying leads, whether in the past or maybe you're doing it right now, have you ever felt like this? Have you felt like maybe your entire business model is built on a house of cards, that if you made one little change, if one thing changed, the whole thing would just fall apart and collapse? So do you remember back in the day when you were buying leads, maybe it was $200 or $300 and you got an exclusive zip code. So you got all of the leads that were for that specific zip code. And you were like, hey, this is great. I could probably get 2 or 3 zip codes. So maybe you did. Maybe you were spending $600, $800, $900 a month. You had multiple zip codes and you were the exclusive agent for that area. I bet, now that I'm talking, this is when I first got licensed. So 2005, 6, 7, way back in the early days, it was probably extremely productive. The ROI was great. Maybe it was 10 or 15 times over, right? It was very productive. But then after a few years, they changed the business model. Now it was, you guys got to share a zip code. You don't get the whole thing. And oh, by the way, we're increasing the prices as well. So now we have multiple agents competing for the same amount of leads, actually fewer, because you're only getting a portion of them instead of the whole thing, right? But the ROI was still there, so you continued to do it. It wasn't as good as it was before, but at least it was still profitable. Now They have people that call into their 800 number and they are transferring the lead directly to you. So they transfer it to you, but let's say you don't answer the phone because you're in church or you're at your daughter's dance recital or you're out on a date night with your husband. It's 9 o'clock at night and you're in a fancy restaurant. You're not going to answer your phone. Now you start getting little nasty grams from the people that work for the portal saying, hey, you're not answering your phone frequently enough. We're going to start giving your leads away to people that will actually answer their phone all the time. So it's kind of like Big Brother is always watching you, right? And of the leads that you're getting, what's your conversion ratio? Maybe 5%? If you're killer on the phone at converting, let's say it's even 10%. Right? That means it's costing you $100 a lead, but for every 100 of those that you get, you're only converting 5, maybe 10% if you're stellar on the phone. So that's a lot of money for 95% of the people who are not going to mount into anything. Maybe they say things like, I already made an appointment with the agent who called me right before you did, right? How many times have you heard that? Or you get the people that say, I already have an agent. My agent's out of town, or she lives an hour away. I didn't want to bother her. So you're scrambling to get this lead that you're paying $100 for, only to find out that they already have a real estate agent. They just didn't want to inconvenience them by actually having them do their job. They're perfectly willing to inconvenience you because they don't understand how this works, right? It's not the fault of the client. It's the fault of the agent who doesn't tell them, don't call the sign, don't call the big 800 numbers. Like, I'm here to help you. That's why you've hired me. They don't know any better, right? Most of those leads seem to be like 6 to 12 months out, which is great. I will need the business 6 to 12 months from now, just the same as I need it right now. But I can't have only future business. You need to have now business as well. Like, you can't be in business for a year with no money coming in before you finally decide that we're ready to close and you're going to get your first paycheck. It just doesn't work that way. So you're probably spending 20 hours a week to call these leads who don't know who you are and quite frankly never really wanted to talk to you in the first place. And now, to add insult to injury, the portal wants to start charging you a referral fee for all of the ones that close. So not only are you spending $1,000 a month to buy the leads, now you've got to pay them a referral fee at the closing table. Can you relate to any of these things? Have you been there? Like, is this happening to you now? I talk to agents all the time that are telling me these things. I can tell you, in my personal opinion, this sounds like the fastest way to burn out in this industry and to hate your job. Most agents became real estate agents because they wanted the freedom, right? We wanted the flexibility. We do not need some $15 an hour call center worker breathing down our necks because we didn't jump out of the shower at 7:30 in the morning to answer our ringing phone. Can I get an amen if you agree with any of that stuff? Hey, Marion. Oh my gosh, yes. I went to a conference last week in Albany, New York, and Marion was kind enough to pick me up at the airport and have dinner with me, and we stuffed our faces with lobster. It was awesome. So I can tell you that there is a better way than buying leads, okay? If you start making YouTube videos, people feel like they know you before they ever even pick up the phone and call you. So I was chatting with one of my coaching students the other day, and she said that YouTube leads are the best because they are super excited when you call them back. They act like they're talking to their best friend. The whole conversation is different. And even the follow-up is less intimidating because they knew who you were. They reached out to you first, and they are excited to hear back from you. It takes away all of the scariness of following up with these leads. When I call my leads and I'm like, hey, this is Karin Carr. You just left me a message a little while ago about relocating to my area. They say, oh my gosh, thank you so much for calling me back. Is that what you get from the leads that you're paying $100 a piece for? No, you're not. I know that you're not. And the best part about a YouTube strategy is that not only does it not cost you $1,000 a month or $500 a month or even $100 a month, it's completely free. Uploading videos to YouTube is completely free. And you can call them half an hour later without worrying that you're going to lose the lead to somebody else simply because you didn't leave the movie theater in the middle of the movie to go answer your phone when it rang. So doesn't this sound like a much more enjoyable and profitable business model? I'm telling you, this is pretty much the only lead generation that I do at this point, and it works amazing. So you're only following up with people who already know who you are, who already know what you can do to help them, and they already want to talk to you. So if this sounds like something that you want to learn more about, I'm going to be doing a free event at the end of the month. It is called Turn Subscribers into Sales. It will be a 5-day live online training just like this. We're going to overhaul your YouTube channel and get it set up so that you can start getting leads from your YouTube channel as well. I'll put the link down below where you can enroll, but it is youtubeforagents.video/turn subscribers into sales. So I'll put that link down below. So I hope you enjoyed this training. Next week, at the same day, same time, I'm going to go live and talk about how I gained confidence on camera, because I hear this all the time. You know that video is the thing you need to be doing. You're just a little bit afraid to get on camera. So I'm going to tell you how I gained confidence on camera, what my experience has been, and help you try to overcome that hurdle, because I guarantee you, once you're brave enough to just do it and put yourself out there, you will never regret it. When you get your first closed transaction and you take home that $5,000, $10,000, $15,000 commission check, you will never again be afraid to get on camera. So join me next Wednesday, 3 p.m. Eastern, to talk about gaining confidence on camera. And please sign up for Turn Subscribers into Sales if you want to go really in depth with me on this. And that is starting at the end of February. All right, everybody, see you next week.